All right, guys. So here's the deal. um, this fragrance is widely popular. It's from the house of Lataffa. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Um, then I got my lights falling and all that. What's going on, guys? You know the deal. We got some bangers for you guys today, but I want to talk about one in particular. And you don't want to miss out because everyone's talking about it. A lot of people own it. But if you don't and you're considering it, I'm going to give you the drop on whether or not you should pick this bad boy up.
Okay, feeling for two. I watch that head move side to side as I let this in into the room. You were on time, let's connect minds. Trying to get into a mood. We gon' be fine. Close up the blinds, no rush.
All right. Welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the afternoon. Okay, so listen, from the house of Lataffa, let's not cut corners here. This is Teriaq Intense. Teriaq Intense is a really interesting fragrance because this is one of the very few rare instances, I should say, where we have kind of a niche perfumer step into the clone space or inspiration space and make a fragrance, an original fragrance to Lataffa, as far as I am aware. Teriaq Intense, I'm reading you a little blurb from them. Teriaq Intense is Lataffa Perfumes. Is an oriental spicy fragrance for men and women. This is a new fragrance launched in 2024. The nose behind the fragrance is Quentin Bisch. Unapologetically unique, created by master perfumer Mr. Bisch, offers intensity through a blend of luxurious notes. Quentin Bisch, what's he responsible for? Trying to see some of his fragrances. Azaro, Ex Nihilo, Etat de Libre d'Orange, Essential Parfums, Les Liquidus Imaginaires, Mason Crivelli, Marc Antoine Baroy, Missoni, Mugler. Got a lot of clout. Yeah. Anyways, enough about Quentin here. Let's go to Teriaq Intense. I don't want to say this is a challenging fragrance. Cool looking bottle, black, gold, clear. It's got plating. It's got a serpent on it. Kind of odd looking serpent. Anyway, got the print writing around the cap. Decently cool. I don't think it's low pressure, standard cap, little snake skin around it. It's a cool bottle, but bottle out of the door, is the juice good? Okay, so it's pretty good. Really, I think this is a fragrance that's going to feel pretty average to people unless they really love cinnamon, vanilla, amber, warm, spicy type of DNAs. If you like that, then I think this will grow on you. It's not like a showstopper initial fragrance where it's like love at first sniff. It's good, but I think it grows on you. What do I liken it to? It's really tough because this is one of the more cinnamon heavy fragrances I've come across in a long time. First and foremost, it's quality. It's not synthetic smelling. It's a good fragrance. Romantic date night, cold weather, season based type of fragrance. It's cozy. It's intimate. It's warm. It's sweet, and all that. But it's quite a heavy cinnamon fragrance with vanilla spiciness and amber kind of being accents to it. You get a heavy dose of cinnamon up front and in your face. Cinnamon vanilla, but heavy on cinnamon. I really like it. It's a great release from Lataffa. I think TLTG was capping a little bit when he said this might be Lataffa's best release. That's a bit of a stretch. But I mean, to each his own, right? He could be right in many regards, but I don't know. He said that like very quickly on his review, and I was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. When I smelled it, I was like, I don't know. Yeah, out in the air and on test strip, it feels more complex, and I think on skin it kind of changes. We'll test that out. Let me put that on right there. Put a little dab. High performer, high sillage, high projection, which is great initial news for the impression. It's going to be maybe even like a 10-12 hour fragrance with 5-6 feet of sillage, 4-6 feet of projection. it's out there. And I think the cinnamon does kind of lay down, you know what I'm saying, which is good. Let's pull you guys out to the window real quick here before I start ranking it and giving you guys all the stuff. Top notes, saffron and bergamot. You get a ton of it. In the middle, plum liqueur and cinnamon. The plum aspect of it is definitely there, but I will say, man, this thing, in the same way that Angel Share is drenched in cognac, this is drenched in cinnamon. And then in the base, amber tonka benzoin. I think the, what do you call it? The redeeming qualities of this particular DNA is that normally vanilla is given a heavy emphasis, and in this case it's cinnamon, so it gives it kind of a different twang than a lot of the popular vanillic cinnamon fragrances. And then that plum liqueur and saffron are really the kickers. That's what makes this have its own little identity in the space. So it's kind of got like the tiniest little pinch of like vintage radio in the way background. The saffron kind of just adds to the amber to make this kind of warm spice. The spice doesn't have a lot of like spritz and texture to it. It just kind of feels warm and spicy, but warm holiday spicy, not quite spicy like actual like peppery or anything like that. It's smooth. There's even some elements of like bubble gumminess to this, really. Yeah, in a weird way, it's kind of got this like cinnamon stick gum / like aquatic cinnamon stick gumness to it. It's like yeah, absolutely. It's almost like imagine somebody took Angel Share's DNA, right? And I want you guys to jump off screen because I want you guys to just picture this. And I'm so sorry for the logo popping up. Okay, so picture like Angel Share, right? And Angel Share took out the cognac. So you just kind of have this vanillic, warm, spicy, praline, cinnamon juice, right? And then I took like an eyedropper and I dropped a tiny splash of Afnan 9 p.m. and a tiny splash of vintage radio, you know, plum Palo Santo. So it's got kind of a pinch of 9 p.m., a pinch of plum Palo Santo vintage radio into an Angel Share without the cognac DNA. Bada bing, bada boom. Like I said before, long-lasting projection, sillage. I would almost call this beast mode. I think most people would call it beast mode, but I do want to clarify what I mean by it. A lot of times when we say beast mode, it's a fragrance that can travel across the room. I think this fragrance is more subdued in that as you walk through a room, you will have a very long trail behind you that will fill the room. But I don't think if you're just sitting in place, it will just go around the room. It's got a very smooth killer aspect to it that doesn't feel like obnoxious, but it is loud, okay? I think I've defined the fragrance. Put your nose on what you can anticipate with it. I could name other alternatives, but I think my picture painting was good enough for tonight. Ageless fragrance. It wears on skin a lot more heavy on the amber and cinnamon for sure. On the test strip, you get more of the plum and saffron, but I actually think if this dries down longer, the plum and saffron will jump out more depending on how heavy of a sprayer you are. I think if you were conservative, 4 or 5 sprays, but I think the sweet spot for this fragrance to just not even have to apply it anymore for the day is like 6 to 8. Again, semi-formal category of in all the activities within semi-formal, you know, clubbing, lounge, nightlife, theater, ballroom, you know, bachelor mode, party, holiday party, stuff like that, casino, ballroom. It's just, it's got a sexiness to it. It's not the most complex, but it's just a rich, well-materialed fragrance. I think it's ageless. I gave you guys the occasions and cold weather leaning preferably, but it's more of an occasion-based fragrance. Gave you guys the sprays. Alternatives to this, honestly, you know, Teriaq Intense, I think, ran like 40. So I think the only thing you can really do under that which you're not really getting this DNA. You're more so getting a piece of the DNA, is to either go vintage radio or Amir Paris Corner Fire your desire to go for the Angel Share DNA. If you already have those two, going up to Teriaq Intense would be kind of foolish because you can just one-to-one mix those two and get Teriaq Intense easily. I also think if you have Angel Share DNA in the form of Amir Paris Corner or any of the other Angel Share DNAs minus Comra or actual Angel Share, this is like super redundant to me because you're only getting like cinnamon and plum liqueur on top of it in a very faint way. It's mostly got the heavy amber, tonka bean, vanilla, cinnamon, saffron vibe going. So you're basically just getting like 90% Angel Share DNA. Again, just to put things into perspective, this is like 80% Angel Share DNA, and then that part, the little bit where I told you guys remove the cognac and add a little bit of vintage radio and off and on 9 p.m., that's like 20% of the fragrance, you know? So it's a heavy vanillic cinnamon bomb. I don't think I have any other commentary for this. For me, I personally rate this fragrance like a 8 or a 9. If you love this DNA, it's like a 9. If you aren't super impressed by vanillic cinnamony type of fragrances, this might smell common to you. So for that, it's an 8, but I don't think you can make it an average fragrance. It's well above average because for a clone, the formulation is so smooth. It's not jarring. It's got incredible performance. It's well priced. It'll probably even go down in the 30s soon. It's unique, slightly. Not the most innovative, but it does have some variants. It's made by a master perfumer. Yeah, so for me, I don't think it can go below an 8. And by the way, I don't do decimals. Okay? So I don't do 8.5, 8.3, 8.75. For me, in my mind, it's ridiculous because it's like, if you just use whole numbers, the difference between an 8 or a 9 isn't that dramatic. You know what I'm saying? But if I give something an 8.5, then it's like, I don't know. I think it makes people feel like it more accurately rates a fragrance, and I don't really feel that way. I think for categories in my mind, 7 is average, 8 is above average, 9 is above average, plus you get something else, and then 10 is just, it checks all the boxes. So there's fragrances, like I could take 10 fragrances that are 10 out of 10s, and within that 10 out of 10 score, still power rank them based off what, you know, there can be 10 out of 10 fragrances that are better or worse than other 10 out of 10 fragrances because within that ranking, there's a spectrum. But nonetheless, this is a great pickup for $40. If I were you guys, and just based off my description, you're not the most thrilled to try it, I would wait till it comes down, man, because I think this could come down as low as $25 when it's all said and done. I honestly think the inflated price is just due to two things. One, it's made by Quentin Bisch, and two, it's like more of a original fragrance from the line. So they're going to kind of market it as a more premium fragrance. And three, the perfumer, it's original and it's new. So give it some time to chill out. Again, I don't think this is the moon and the stars. For me personally, I kind of give it like a solid 8. Maybe over time I might give it a 9, but I just, you know, again, if I was doing decimals, I'd say 8.5 comfortably, but I'm fine giving this an 8. No problem. It's a great fragrance though. If you're into the date night, semi-formal category and you need something, I mean, I personally think this is like on equal playing field as a Amir Paris Corner Fire Your Desire. You know what I'm saying? Or like a Cayenne Classic for being just as sexy, you know what I'm saying? Or a Gary's Den or something like that. But it's cool. If it was me for some layering in the future, I might throw in some freaking booze. You know what I'm saying? Some rum, some cognac. Or go a different direction with it. We'll see in the future what kind of combos I put out on my ebook for you guys. But definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Again, this was Lataffa's Teriaq Intense. I think it's one of their original fragrances, perfumed by Quentin Bisch, responsible for a lot of bangers. And, you know, I think one thing we could talk about in the future is just how crazy it is that now you have niche and designer perfumers that are very world renowned making original fragrances for clone houses. And I think that's what we're going to start to see. You know, as clone houses start to make money, they're going to be less cloney. I think everybody clones each other. It's just some make it out more mysteriously than others. But once people start to get money, they want to stand out and they want to be taken seriously. And I think that's what we're going to see. Lataffa is a reputable brand at this point in the inspired category. And so now that they have a little bit of money, they're going to try to make their own Lataffa special fragrances and get out of a market where it's subject to a ton of litigation. We shall see. Again, this is a unisex fragrance. So women, I think it could work on you for sure, in the same way that Angel Share can work. But pay attention to my description of the fragrance to see if you would like it. I think this is equally unisex. I don't think it's leaning one way or the other at all. With that being said, this is the Scent Bubble. I hope you guys have a blessed week. And let me know if you have any questions. I do talk back. Peace.